Okay, so I got a lot of big plans for the upcoming kayak season. I'm at Norient Access, by the way. Lovely day like this when I'm on the river. Can't be on the river. Seemed like a cardinal sin or something, but transportation issues with the shuttle just wasn't possible. So anyway, I thought I'd come down here with my big plans I have for 2026. I beefed up my gear a little bit. I added this canvas tarp. So if you use your imagination, we are facing into the wind, and there's real dark black, oh my gosh, storm clouds right across the river. You gotta use your imagination here. Figuring I didn't have time to put a tent up, I threw this up pretty quick. As you see, it's not quite high enough to sit in my chair. I mean, I can sit in there, but it's a little bit crowded on the headspace. But what I also have that is not in there is a 5-foot by 6-foot survival blanket that I have used previously in the last 4 years, matter of fact, as a shelter in these kind of situations. Talking about being crowded. Me and Chris, my racing partner, had to camp out under that one year during the race when we had the race of the storm. Anyway, that's another story. So what I did is I staked down the two corners in the direction of the wind. So the wind's coming, you know, so I staked down these two corners. Then I staked my tent pole inside there. Come up with a genius idea, I think. What I've done is, well, that didn't work, is I got two tennis balls and I cut holes in them so they would fit over my tent poles. Keeps it from sinking into the sand, and it keeps from poking a hole in the canvas. As you see here, this one has sunk into the sand. That's okay. So anyway, so stake down the corners, put your tent pole in there. Next you put this tent pole on and stake it out. And then you do the other two corners, and voila, you have a shelter. If I wanted, like I said, I could take that emergency blanket that I got. It's orange on one side, silver on the other. It's a heavy duty emergency blanket. It's not these little ones that are the size of a cigarette pack or whatever that you buy at Walmart. I did get it online. I'm not sure where, but it held up very good. It's made me 3 or 4 shelters at different times when I've needed it on the river. So my storm's coming in, and I'm in here, and I'm sitting on the ground, and I got my imaginary survival blanket on the sand here, so I'm not sitting on the sand and maybe getting wet from all the rain that's going to be coming. And you can see it's kind of roomy. I can cook right here by the opening. The wind's coming kind of from this corner over here. I think it may have changed direction on me a little bit, but I'm well out of the weather, I believe. If I had to, I could drop this down one more. That would be really, really crowded in here. I'd only have the room to be laying down in here. But then again, if the storm's coming and it's going to last a while, what better way to spend the storm than taking a nap? So this would work. There are all kinds of other ideas. You can use your imagination, let your imagination run wild when you do this kind of thing. So let me take this down, and I'm going to try to come up with something else. Okay, so I played around with it a little bit, and I wasn't able to come up with anything. The problem is the tarp is a 6 foot by 8 foot, so it's not square. So there's not a lot of different ways you could arrange that. But if I had other logs, big logs that are like we used at Hell's Island that night of the storm on the race, I could do a little more with it. But when you have a sandbar and there is nothing on the sandbar but sand, there's only so much you can do. That log there on that wing dike, if that was washed up over here, I could make a really nice shelter. But the shelter that I put up would work for just me, which is, if I'm solo, that's all I need to worry about is just me. Most of the time I am solo. So I know if I find a sandbar and a storm coming and I gotta get off the river and I don't have time to put up a tent, which should not happen, but the river gives you what the river gives you. And if Mother Nature doesn't warn you in enough time to put up a tent, well then I know I have this I can resort to pretty quick. A lot quicker than putting a tent up. Tent goes up quick, but this is quicker. So anyway, I'm looking forward to a very busy 26 summer. Lots of kayaking, lots of camping. Of course, I don't know the future. I can only plan the future and hope that my plans happen as I have them planned. So we'll see. Thanks for watching.